Okay, so today we are going to paint your little pinch pot creature. And when you paint it, you're going to literally paint everything, even over your initials, okay? So first thing you're going to do is you're going to get the tray with all of your paints. The tray is looking pretty dingy. If you're out of a color, just let me know. And if you need like a white, you just have to kind of look for clean areas. So this person didn't obviously grab the color from the edge like they're supposed to. So let's think about what color I want to do with the body here. So maybe I want kind of a turquoisey color. So I always want to make sure my brush is dry. And then I'm going to mix, let's see, I'm going to use a little bit of blue. And I always just grab the color from the side. A little bit of green. Once again, grabbing the color from the side. And actually, I'm going to use a little bit of white. And then mix it up until you get the shade you want. Kind of like that, but I'm going to use a little more yellow. So I use a little more yellow just to brighten it up a little bit. That's kind of a pretty color. I use a little more yellow. It's always good to do a little color at a time because you can always add to it. You can't really take away, obviously. And notice when I mix it, I kind of go around and I twist my brush, and that just gets off the extra layer of paint. And when I'm painting, I want to kind of go in and around everything. And if I paint a little bit over something, that's okay, because the great thing about this paint is it dries super fast. So whatever color, or if you made a mistake and you don't want it anymore, then just know you can just paint over it. The key is letting it dry. If you start to paint over it right away, well, you're just gonna make more of a mess. And actually it's gonna take that much longer to dry because it's even more wet. Oops, there you go. There's a chunk of white, yellow in there. There you go. I like to always work on a paper towel so that if I do need to kind of quickly wipe off my brush, it's right there ready for me. Okay, and I'm just kind of turning it around. I like to make sure, in case I have to mix more of the color, I'm going to make sure I have all the top area done first. Try to hold an area that I haven't painted or that the paint is dry. So I went a little bit over where the teeth are. Not really concerned about that because I can always fix it. And then paint. Now a little trick. I like this paint color, but let's say I'm running out of paint and I almost have it all done, which actually I think I have a perfect amount, but I'm going to show you how to do this anyways. But let's say I need to stretch the color a little bit. You can dip your brush in a little bit of water and add it to that, and that will kind of reactivate the color so you don't have to totally do more color mixing. Okay, so I've got that painted. My hands are messy, so I'm kind of make sure they're dried off. And then you're gonna rinse, wipe. You're gonna do this at least 3 times, noticing I'm not tapping my brush. Okay, if you tap your brush, you're gonna get splatter everywhere. Then I like to dry it on a paper towel. And then I can think about my other colors. So maybe my fin, I'm gonna use some orange, some yellow, more yellow. There you go. And I could use white to tone it down to make it lighter, like I did before. Ooh, I got a little green in there. Hopefully that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. And I can paint this. Now, this green is kind of wet, so I'm gonna kind of go a little slower. Up, I picked up a little green. So, notice I went back and forth my brush to make it kind of disappear. If you don't want to worry about that, carefully grabbing it from here, then kind of wait till that area dries a little bit more. I am going a little bit faster just for the sake of a demonstration than what I would normally do. I'm just kind of have my finger kind of behind the tooth on mine, and it's actually making it really easy for me to kind of go around here. And like I said, if you find that your hands are really, really messy, you can go up and wash your hands at any time and then go back to your painting. And the good news is, in that time period, you also will notice that your paint has dried a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the actual pure orange, just along the top here. Now I did not rinse off my brush. This is one of those exceptions because my brush already had an orangish color on it, and I'm fine, okay? Now, if the eyes, if you wanted it to be white, you wanna make sure you're rinsing off your brush, and you're gonna probably have to do this more than the 3 times, because that's 3 times. You can see there's still some color on it, and you may have to do that again. Or you may have to find out that, you know what, my water seems kind of messy, kind of dirty from all the people using it, so maybe I just need to rinse out my water and get more, okay? So then you're gonna go into the eye, and you could leave white, the white area, just that, leave it white, like with the clay. But I am painting mine. And the white that I have right here is a little trickier to use because the last person that used it, or the last table that used it, did not do a great job keeping it clean. So I'm having a little harder time trying to find the clean white areas to kind of grab my color from. Now, picked up a little bit of orange that time. Maybe my clue, I really need to kind of slow down. And I probably will do a touch up of the white once this is completely dry. Then maybe the eyes are, maybe I'll do blue. So I'm just taking my brush and kind of wiggling it around. And you get the idea, okay? So if you make a mistake, you just let it dry. You can fan it, blow on it. It does dry fairly fast, but the biggest mistake I've seen people do is they make a mistake and then they try to put paint on immediately after, and then more paint, and then they get this thick amount of paint, and then basically it doesn't dry, okay? Or it takes like 30, 40 minutes to dry. So the best thing to do is if you make a mistake, just let it dry, let it sit there for a few minutes, and then once it's ready, then you can go back in, pick up your color, and then do your touch-ups. Okay, so I hope you have fun with this.